This is Susie from Nail Career Education, and a student had inquired about how do you do your own nails. So there are a few tips. As a nail technician, we always give our left hand forward. If we're right-handed, we always present this one. Take a look at this one. That looks best. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to do the hand that you are predominant in. When you're filing with the opposite hand that you're not very good at, use this hand mostly to do the motion. So rather than using your drill, which we're not as so good at, try to use the opposite hand. And this is bracing by holding this part. And you literally move the finger, don't move the drill. Move the finger, especially when you're talking carbide bit. You don't want to cut yourself. Oh, I hate that. Mixing acrylic, your liquid monitor, with your ball. Get a smaller ball. You don't want to get too big of a ball because it might be just too much to handle, especially when you're doing your opposite hand. Clean it off right away. That's part of your learning. And then start molding it right away as soon as you can. Flatten it as soon as you can to the cuticle. But when you flatten it to the cuticle, make it as thin as you possibly can. That's the trick of a good fill, right? Nice and thin near the cuticle. And I find the flattening motion as much as you can over and over and over is the best. Sometimes you can get your brush wet, get a little bit of liquid between the cuticle and your acrylic, and see if you can flatten. Get the body of the brush, barrel of the brush, some say, belly of the brush, and just kind of push it over and flatten it. So I can do this bead a little bit drier because I'm molding and I'm trying to make it wider. You get a pretty good angle here. And I'm gonna, if you can see, I'm gonna flatten that ball and pushing it right to the side. And I'm gonna make it nice and square. These nails are going to be square. And sort of roll it over the top a little. You don't have to do this in one ball. If you can, then you're good at doing your own nails. But of course, doing your own nails is hard. That's why I'm trying to give you a few extra tips. And doing your own nails is an advantage because when people see them and see how gorgeous they are, you can promote yourself. That's the whole advantage of doing your own. Okay, Pinky's happy enough. You know, it's a little bit wonky. I don't know if you can see that. This side is more square, this one is missing. So I'm gonna do the same effect. A drier ball. Bead, I guess bead sounds better. I'm going to do a drier bead, so taking away the moisture on your paper towel, and then just molding it into making it a bit square. You can do this with a form, but this one doesn't really have to have a form. But if you want to have a form, yes, go ahead. It will seep underneath, so you will have to use an underneath bit when it comes to the filing part. But sometimes natural nails that are, you know, already long, they've already taken shape and they're really sometimes really tough to form. Okay, so now we're good. We'll just smooth that off and now we'll start filing. Nice. Don't use your drill too high. You want to go on a low setting. Most people think if you use a drill really hot, you can file through a lot of stuff, but you're just gonna burn. So just nice and low. And what I wanna do is brace your hand and brace your filing hand. And again, you can use more of the momentum of your hand as opposed to the drill. Sometimes I just set the drill into one position and just move my finger. And then as time goes on, you will get better at moving the drill as well, especially around the cuticles and stuff. You just keep doing it until you get the look that you're looking for. And when you're shortening again, it's kind of hard sometimes, but you can shorten off this way and then always keep checking because it's really easy to go crooked. Okay, so just keep filing. It may take you half an hour, maybe put a TV show on and just go for it and just keep filing. hard to find the angle to make it work. Sometimes I will even put a bottle of polish on so I can brace myself rather than holding it in the air. That helps too. There we go. That's a bit better. That really helps with the pinky. The pinky just does not have enough strength to just hold itself up for you. Okay, so I've done all the major filing. They're all shaped and thin the way I want them to be, and they match this hand pretty much. And now I'm just filing them nice and smooth. I'm not going to gel coat them. I'm just going to polish them. So I just nail polish, that is. So I just want to go and smooth them off. So that's what I'm just finishing now. And then I'll put some oil on them. And again, when you're filing, it's easier to move your prominent hand than it is the file. I find this really awkward trying to file. You can do it, but we're just not as good at it. This arm has all the strength, right? This is what you're used to. So just to move this hand, I find is the easiest way to do it. Okay. So now we're going to polish. It's totally dry. Make sure that it's really super, super dry. We don't want it bleeding into the cuticles. So as if I can't, with all the colors in the world, I can't find a nude that I like. So I tend to always blend two. The nudes are too nude and the soft pinks are too soft. So I find I like to put a coat of the nude on and then a coat or two of the pink on to sort of give the color that I'm looking for. I know that's kind of silly, but that's just what I like. Put it up here, it's too much. Put it here, and then you can go back. And the least amount of strokes as possible, okay? More, it just makes it streaky. I'm just putting the top coat of the pink on, which is what I like. Just to give it the nice pink color. Well, top coat's the easiest. Can't go wrong with top coat. If you do have any streaks, top coat actually can smooth out the colors a little. It is a bit of an advantage. There you go. It's done. So that was a few tips on how to do your prominent hand, the hardest hand. That was the request of Tiffany. So thanks for the idea, Tiffany. Until next time, see you soon.